Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, live in studio with Stef, the altar nerd. We're having so much fun this week as she visits Tampa Bay, Florida, and we're here in studio with today's main topic. The way this show works, we hang for a couple hours. It's a longer show, but I always clip the main show. So you either saw the craziness before or you didn't, and if you missed it, you're not going to miss it. You can always catch our full replays by becoming a member, and then the members playlist on my channel page shows you all the replays. Just pick a level. You'll be supporting the channel. You'll be getting the replays and other member exclusives that don't always get to the public. You'll get them first and exclusively. So become a member of Popcorn Planet. Become a Planeteer, and you'll be supporting us. Now, look, a lot of people are mad at me, Steph, that I'm even trying to give any criticism to Harry and Meghan. And to you, I say, you're being crazy. Everyone's allowed to have a difference of opinions. My goodness, I'm not here yelling at you. Don't come yelling at me just because you don't like that I'm not agreeing with you. Maybe the problem's you. If you can't accept other people's viewpoints, well, what are we doing on this channel? The whole point of this channel is to have all types of viewpoints. And that's why today I want to go through the latest, which is the fact that they are trending. Harry and Meghan are finished was the trend that we saw all over. Harry and Meghan and Harry are finished was the trend. A lot of memes, a lot of things getting spread out. This one we might play later. It's pretty funny. But it just begged the question, are they finished? Is this really, are they losing? These the sort of the ideas that are being put out in the press? Or is this what Meghan and Harry are complaining about? That the press is once again aiming at them negatively, and this is all part of the scam that the royals are putting out into the world. We're going to break it down. But before we get to our Andy versus Steph, where I will be defending the Meghan and Harry, and Steph will be going against Meghan and Harry, I want to show you the latest and where things are going. All right, so there's a report here. Meghan has gentle concerns about Prince Harry's memoir, Spare. Now, here's one report coming in from the New York Post. Take it as you will. But she has been expressing worries about the recent bombshell Spare, how it could ruffle the wrong feathers. She's raised gentle concerns about the book, wondering if it was the right move, sources recently told The Telegraph. Media-savvy Meghan Markle was a little hesitant for the book to be released. The British news, I don't believe this for a second, by the way. This seems like complete nonsense. If she was hesitant about the book, they wouldn't have released the book. Like, I don't believe for a second Harry and Meghan wouldn't have at least been like, yeah, let's do this book. Or she wouldn't be supporting Harry and saying, yeah, get what you want out, Harry. This article seems like a complete nonsense. Markle was hesitant to the book. She allegedly didn't want to get herself too involved because she would have been accused of trying to steal the limelight. Insider added that once Harry went ahead with his project, Markle supported him fully. Is this the way she would have approached things? Possibly not. But she will always back him and would never have gotten involved in promoting such a personal project. But she's a producer of the Netflix series, so I don't buy this. Steph, do you buy this? Do you think she's worried? She was concerned about ruffling the wrong feathers and how this could look?
Oh, hell no. This is revisionist history right here. I think it's a case of she was absolutely gung-ho for this book to be released, believing that this would help turn the tide in their favour of the declining popularity that was starting to happen in the wake of the Harry and Meghan series that was released on Netflix. But ever since the release of Spare, their whole popularity and their image has tanked so much faster than anyone could have anticipated, that it's now like buyer's remorse, and she's trying to kind of revise the history like she's done in the past, guys. This is something she's done in the past, and be like, well, you know, all along I was a little bit hesitant for this book to come out. You know, all along I thought maybe it might not have been a good idea, this, that, and the other, to try and save face for a multitude of reasons, which we may get into during this segment.
Well, so you're more of subscribing to this other opinion piece that says Meghan was the mastermind behind Harry Potter, Prince Harry Potter. He's like a little bit, he's like Harry and Ron combined, right?
I wouldn't say that she's the mastermind per se. I would say that she was an influence behind it.
So they think she's the true writer of Spare. If not, the fully content has been generally curated with the help of Meghan. I'm going to also call this one BS. I don't believe she was there writing this or telling him what to write. Was she involved? Of course, she's his wife. I would hope she'd be involved in his projects and read it and give some notes. Of course. But do you believe she was the mastermind behind it?
No, and this is something that, you know, a lot of the Harry and Meghan community like to say a lot of, which is, Meghan Markle, she's the puppet master, Prince Harry's the puppet, and anything that Prince Harry does is because of Meghan Markle. And I absolutely disagree with that, with all due respect. At the end of the day, Prince Harry is an adult. He's his own man. He's a husband. He's a father. If you turn around and you say, well, everything that Prince Harry's doing is because of Meghan Markle, what you're saying there is actually it's not Prince Harry's fault. It's all Meghan Markle's fault. And you're taking that personal responsibility away from Prince Harry, which is wrong. At the end of the day, the two peas in a pod, guys, we really need to get to that kind of understanding. And so I don't think she was the mastermind. I think she worked with Prince Harry. I think she was an influence because obviously the husband and wife, Prince Harry, you could reasonably expect is going to go around to his wife and be like, what do you think to this passage? What do you think of putting this in the book, that in the book? And it's more like a husband and wife kind of collaborative effort. You know what I mean? So I don't think she's a mastermind, but I do think she influenced and helped Harry along with the contents of the book.
Now, so we both kind of called BS on some of these headlines, and that's part of the problem, I think, and that's going to be part of my defense when we get to this fight. But there's a lot of stuff I just don't think is actually real. It's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumor and gossip. But here's one. Meghan Markle furious over Prince Harry's humiliating memoir. She's finding out the hard way that some things are better left unsaid after his deeply personal memoir hasn't gone down as expected, much to wife Meghan Markle's horror. Since release, she's been widely mocked. Harry's been widely mocked for oversharing about his frostbitten penis, boozy nights out, drug taking, whining that Prince William got a better bedroom than him at Balmoral Castle. Harry's complaints about his privileged position in life have sparked a fierce backlash, despite the book becoming an international bestseller. Not only has there been a deluge of social media memes aimed at the couple, but they've taken a massive tumble in most recent YouGov polls, which were about to go. While Harry has brushed off the criticism and continues to give eye-opening interviews and promote his tome, Meghan, a former actress more experienced in the Hollywood public relationship, is said to be cringing. Meghan thought that Spare would be the crowning glory, and finally the public would understand why they fled England to start over. A source close to the Duchess tells, I don't believe that. While Meghan is normally, I don't believe there was a source close to the Duchess who was feeding this, is what I meant. There's a reason we haven't seen her since the book came out. She's humiliated. She expected Harry's book to get everyone on side after all their struggles, and instead her husband and therefore her have become a laughingstock. Now, Stef, do you believe this one more? Because personally, I believe parts of it. I don't believe she's humiliated the details because I believe she knew what the details were going to be. I believe she read it before it came out. She signed off on it. So I don't like the surprise that, I think she's just more humiliated at the fact that the public is not on board with them as much as I think she hoped. I don't think it's about the oversharing. If anything, this feels like trying to save her face of like, I didn't want to be involved in that part of it. But I could see her being upset that what we're going to get to them, the polls aren't in her favor. What do you think of this one? Do you think this is more true or false?
I think she's both humiliated and surprised, but for different reasons. So I think she is humiliated and surprised, not because of the contents of the book, because again, I firmly believe she knew well ahead of time what was going to be in there. How could she have not? I think it's more she's humiliated and surprised of the effect that the book has had in the media and the public. Again, I firmly believe that with the two kind of punch that they were doing with the Harry and Meghan Netflix series and the book series, that they firmly believed that this was going to be their turning point where the public were going to turn around and be like, oh, okay, we're now team Harry and Meghan. And that's not happened. If anything, again, the popularity has sunk even further. So it's done the opposite effect of what she thought it would do, hence the surprise. The humiliation, I think that's more to do with all the memes that are out at the moment, taking the mick out of both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with what's in the book, all the jokes that the comedians are doing at the moment on the late night shows will be humiliating because remember, guys, the rumour is that Meghan Markle is gearing herself up to have a political career in America. And something like this, where we get to know about her husband's pee-pee, that's not giving her the greatest of political chances when it comes to her career. So I think it's more embarrassment and humiliation for those particular reasons rather than what's in the book.
Well, I mean, I think it's embarrassment for these results. Now, these are the results of the poll. This was a poll that was done back in December 12th. Should they lose their titles? And the results at that point were 27% said yes, 30% said don't know, but 43% said no. Almost half were like, no, they shouldn't lose their titles. Fast forward to a more recent poll, also run by Newsweek, and the poll has shifted. It's actually turned upside down. 45% are now in favor of them being stripped of their titles. That comes down from the 27%. So it is a pretty big drop suddenly that this Newsweek poll is putting out there. 45% said that they should be stripped. 26% said no, they shouldn't. 28% said I don't know. So even it's just way more of it is either I don't know or they should versus the support that they used to have proving this. Now, what's interesting is you look at these YouGov polls, which again, these are UK. Are these? Can you vouch for these?
Yeah,
are
these are legitimate. YouGov is a legitimate polling company.
Okay, so it's interesting because obviously a lot of people have heard of him. His popularity is still up. 40% like him. 33% have disliked him. Now, I wish we could see. Do they have? I wish there was like a longer chart to show how that's gone up and down over time, which I couldn't see in here. But he's at least in the 40% mark. When you look at Meghan Markle, she is not. She is almost in the 50% disliked by and only 29% liked. A much, much, much different turn on that. So the polls not in their favor. Now, look, to be fair, the polls always haven't been in their favor. Obviously, there's been a lot of people attacking them and a lot of bad press going after them. But that's where we stand. So are they finished? That's the debate I wanted to have with Stef today, because I've been listening to Stef's, royalisms and everything, and I hear it. But I think it's time we try to have someone on here defend these two against the royals. I'm going to take that battle on, for better or worse. I will be playing a little bit of a character because I will see. Let me play it. I'm going to get into the role of a Meghan and Harry supporter. And then I'll tell you afterwards how much I believed what I said. How's that? Is that fair? So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to lean in. I'm going to fully debate this the proper way and own it. And then at the end of it, I will tell you how much I had, what points did I have to change my actual beliefs. Stef, I assume it's safe to say you will be confidently arguing that they are finished and that you are not a fan.
Absolutely.
Okay, so is it fair? Can the debate be, are they finished? How do you want to define this question? What's a good question here? We should have settled that before we started this.
We should have done. Hey, your show, your rules, go for it.
That's kind of broad. It's easier win. I think I can win that very easily. Do you want to make it a little bit more specific?
Let's make it more specific. Go for it.
So how about, is the book a failure?
Okay, let's go.
Is the book a failure? Is the book a failure? Okay, and then we'll have to define what the failure is or not. Okay, would you like to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, I'm going to, again, welcome to Andy versus Stef. Graphics to come soon with sound effects. If anybody out there wants to help me make some of those, you let me know. All right, Andy versus Stef. We're going to be doing. In fact, I should put this up there. I should have thought this through. We did this in the last minute, guys. Exclusive. Here it is. Andy versus Stef. I'm going to be for Prince Harry, Harry and Meghan, and versus Stef against. Okay, there we go. You'll see that on top of the screen in 1 second. That way you guys, boom. Okay, there we go. I spelled it wrong. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I'll try to edit this part out of the show. If I didn't, well, then I just forgot. And then you guys enjoy this. I can't spell, guys. Don't judge me. Okay, there we go. Andy versus Stef. Okay, here we go. It's also confusing. I should have put it Stef versus Andy because they're. But anyway, you get it. Sorry, apologies. All right, let's get to this battle. I wish I had some explosion sounds. I got to add those on my soundboard. But here we go. All right, Andy versus Stef. I'm going to be fighting for Meghan and Harry. I see a lot of you are feeling sorry for me. So don't be mad at the messenger. Hey, maybe you'll agree. Let's see. All right, here's what. Is the book a failure? All right, I'm going to start the clock. I'm going to give myself, 30 seconds? And then we'll give you a 30-second opening. Then we'll fight. Okay. I have a clock. Sorry you guys can't see it, but at least I have a timer. Here we go. Let's do 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
1 minute timer is on the clock. Is this a failure? Hell no. Why is it not a failure? Because they made a fortune. And that was really, I think, the ultimate goal, was to make money, to not need the royals, to get the money from the book, the money from the thing. And this book was such a seller. They're already teasing part 2, people. They have the royals sweating like crazy because part 2's got juicy stuff that they're never going to forgive him for. So he's not only made that cash and got all that press, but now he's got little threatened, like, you better figure something out with the guys, or we're going with number 2, and we're really going to drop all the tea. So, yeah, I think from what they wanted, which was revenge against the royals, who they feel like have mistreated them, they've gotten it. The royals have taken a hit because they're always constantly having to, why aren't you saying anything? Why don't you say anything? And they're just like, oh, we have to say nothing. On top of that, money, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And let's talk about the press. The press has worked. If anything, I think all this negative press against Meghan, all these bullshit articles we just read, prove their point. It proves their point, Steph. And I'll come back to that in my other point. All right, Steph, it's your turn. 1 minute on the clock. Go ahead. Is it a failure?
Absolutely a failure. When you look at the recent YouGov polls in regards to the most popular royals, Meghan is 13 out of 14, Prince Harry is 9 out of 14, and whereabouts are they? They are amidst Camilla, Queen Consort, and also as well Prince Andrew and his family. Meghan Markle is just above Prince Andrew as the most hated, least liked royal out of the family. That has got to say something. Also as well, this whole book has done them no favors. They are a laughing stock. There's so many memes coming out, comedians making jokes. This is absolutely harming their brand. Also as well, where's Hollywood? Where's Oprah Winfrey? Where's all their Hollywood mates since this book came out? Guess what? They're silent. Why? Her political aspirations are absolutely dead in the water because she's a laughing stock. Also as well, they did a series on Netflix. Did you hear about it?
Oh, I heard about it. And that's the whole point. Everybody heard about it. Now we're in a free fall.
To lead.
Everybody heard about it. And that was the whole point. They wanted this attention. They wanted to make the royals sweat. They wanted to make them feel it. And they've done it by twisting it and turning it. Doesn't matter if it's true.
You've just proven my point. There was another series that was released that they did for Netflix called Live to Lead, which was about influential figures of the world that they released this month. And you just immediately went to
I thought you were talking about the other one.
And Meghan series. Exactly.
Yeah, but we're talking, my point. The question is whether the book was a failure. I don't give a shit about their other Netflix shows.
No, the book, what that was supposed to do was supposed to strengthen their brand and strengthen what they're about so more people would be interested in them and more people would support them and their other endeavours. Hence the Live to Lead situation that was released earlier on this month on Netflix. And guess what? No one heard about it, as Andy just did. He just went straight to the Harry and Meghan mockumentary.
Sorry, wait. How much did the book sell? How much of a success was the book, Steph? I just want you to admit it. The international global bestseller?
Well, of course, you can't deny that. However, it's a failure in terms of what they really wanted other than the money, which was to improve their standing, improve their image so that their bankability could be assured for the future. You don't think
that Netflix deal is going to get renewed? That documentary was their highest viewed thing ever. No. It was literally the highest viewed documentary they ever had. Take your opinions out. I need everyone to understand. This is not about your opinion. Our debate is about the argument. Yeah. And take all your bias away. Yeah. That Netflix documentary was a massive hit for Netflix.
But you know what?
It's going to make them renew it. This was like an episode 3. This was like extra little cherries on top of their overall deal because clearly nothing's going to perform as well as royalty. You know that. It's like if we were to do a video about something that meant something to us, what do you think is going to perform better? Us roasting Amber Heard or us talking about something that's important to us? What's going to perform better, Steph?
Well, us roasting Amber Heard.
Right. And does that mean we're failures?
Hang on a minute. Because at the end of the day, their whole shtick is to try and improve their brand, to branch out into other things, i.e. humanitarianism, projects, political career for Meghan Markle. This Live to Lead series that they released earlier on this month on IMDb is 4.4 out of 10. No one heard about it. Again,
They're
said
review
Netflix
bombing
series.
It. They're review bombing it. The bots are after her, guys. That's the whole point. They can't do anything but shit on the royals because nobody will watch them do anything else.
But at the end of the day, everyone absolutely review bombed Harry and Meghan as well, and it was the most watched series on Netflix. So your argument pretty much falls flat
because they
there.
spilled the tea. Look, these guys, you just proved my point as well. What was this really about? The money. It's about the money. They
not just
can't
about
make
that.
money going to do anything else but spilling royal tea. And they just made cha-ching bank. And not only that, they're going to release season 2 of Meghan and Harry, the Netflix series. And he's damn well going to release Spare 2. Oh, you don't think Meghan's going to release her book? That proves the book wasn't a failure. There is more demand, there is more interest, and there's more money to be made. And you think that's going to piss off the royals? Is that what they want? Do you think they want to piss off the royals? Do you think they want to be nice to the royals?
I don't think they care about the royals either way.
Oh,
they
you
just
liar.
care. They just care about their image and about their bankability. And the reason why I'm saying that this book is a failure is because their future bankability is tanked. No matter what they do at this point, even the American media and the American public are now turning around and saying, we're sick and tired of them whining and whining and whining. Oh, woe is me, when they're in the multi-million-dollar mansion and everyone else is struggling at the moment during the economic downturn, this, that, and the other. People are getting sick and tired of them. So even if they release another series, another book, this, that, and the other, because their popularity is declining in American media and the American public itself, let alone the UK public, yes, will there be an appetite to find out more of what they're going to say? Yes. But actually, it's on the decline, so it's not going to be as successful as the first one, because what else can they really say at this point?
Doesn't matter. They made the money. And look, you just again proved my point. There was nothing they could have done that would have made them the amount of money that this documentary and this book made them. There was nothing. Everyone can say, oh, well, they can get a job or they should be doing something better. Bullshit. They wouldn't have made the millions of dollars that they made. And that's why the book isn't a failure. The book is a massively successfully selling book that will get a sequel. If a movie gets a sequel, is the movie a failure, Steph?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Because you can say, right, the book was successful because it made them money. Okay, facts on that point, because you can't argue with the figures. You can't argue with that. I understand. Why I'm saying it's a failure is because it's a failure on their brand. It's a failure on their image, because they are relying on their brand and their image to sell themselves, to be able to have these future books, these future series, and whatever they're going to do next. And if their popularity is tanking and the public don't like them, then do you think that Netflix and Amazon and Spotify and whoever is going to be investing more in them if
Yes.
the public appetite is low for
If they're
them?
talking about the royals, yes.
But
But yes, I do. If they're doing
because
something
if you
else,
look,
no.
Because if you look on the Newsweek article that I showed you before all this happened, so before the Harry and Meghan the Netflix mockumentary and the book, Americans thought at the time, no, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shouldn't lose their titles. No, they should keep them. After, on Newsweek, after the series came out and the book came out, Newsweek did another poll. And no, now they should be losing their titles. So if they lose their titles, they've lost it all.
No.
And this is on the after effect.
I disagree.
of-
You don't get to just say that like it's a fact.
I would say so, yeah. Because then there's officially no actual
They
royal
get to
connection.
play the victim. They get to
They
say
can-
the royals stripped our titles. People, can you believe how evil the royals are? We're going to write a whole book that's even more grim to tell you why they actually stripped our titles. They will spin it, Steph. That's what they do. They will never stop. They are not finished. They succeeded in pissing you off because you made 100 videos about it and you bought his damn book and you're going to review it. How could you dare call it a failure when you bought the book?
I can call it a failure because it's reputational damage that's going to damage their future bankability and earnings when it comes to Hollywood, Netflix, Spotify. This is the beginning of the end for them. We now know about Prince Harry's todger.
And his penis.
Why? That's what I mean, his todger. I was trying to be a little
God,
bit more,
sorry, more
English and
PG.
polite there and PG, right? Like, literally... They're done. They're a laughing stock. And when it comes to Meghan Markle in particular, she is an epic narcissist. And you have to understand, as a narcissist, they are extremely acutely careful and very protective of their image and what people think of them. And right now, this book has done no favours for her whatsoever. No one's coming out in support of them whatsoever. Where are the Hollywood friends? Where's Oprah? Where's Tyler Perry? Where's anyone? They're all silent. They've all abandoned them publicly from where I can see. Where's freaking Serena Williams, her bestie? Like, no one's here to support him right now since Spare came out. Oh my goodness, Prince Harry had such a hard time being the Spare, this, that and the other. This is why we're friends. This is why we're supporting him, this, that and the other. There's none of that. There was when Meghan Markle was in the royal family at one point, there was an article that came out in People magazine where all her friends were trying to defend her, this, that and the other, yeah?
Right.
Where's that now? Nowhere to be seen. Zero.
Did you buy the book?
Of course I did, but for my YouTube channel.
That's my point.
No.
Ding, ding, ding.
No. But you've got to understand. No. Why did no nuance again? Why did I buy the book? I bought it because I have a YouTube channel
that
and
makes a lot of videos successful about this story, which means it's a success
for me.
Final thought, Steph.
It was a failure because at the end of the day, reputationally, it's tanked. Meghan Markle's career aspirations is nigh on over at this point. Absolutely embarrassing. The brand Royal Sussex is not as strong as it used to be. Their reputation is severely damaged as a result of this book coming out, which means that their future bankability and earnability is also damaged. As when you look at the polls, do not like them. They disapprove of them.
Hold
on. Sorry, I don't know if did anyone hear the majority of that?
Yes, right at the end. Right, use your last 30 seconds again.
Okay, so at the end of the day, yes, even though from a monetary perspective, yeah, they made the millions, they threw the family under the bus. I hope they choke on the money. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to a reputational situation, the book is an absolute failure. They are a laughing stock of Hollywood. They are a laughing stock in the political arena. Meghan Markle's aspirations for a political career now is dead in the water. And when they are using their reputation and their brand to try and secure future deals and future bankability and earnings, when you've got polls both in the UK and America saying that the majority of the public disapprove of them, come on, reputationally, they're done.
All right, final statement. What reputation did they have, Steph? You keep trying to act like they had all this brand equity that was going to sell 1 million special documentaries and books and movies, and the brand of Meghan and Harry was so hot, they're going to make Marvel movies and Avatar movies. That brand was garbage from day one, before or after this book. What on earth were they going to sell to the Americans to actually win it over? They had some celebrity friends, and they still will. Just because they're not out there publicly palling around with them now doesn't mean Tyler Perry's kicking him out of his neighborhood and not going to still be friends with him. They didn't have anything to begin with. They made so much money by spilling the tea, and that's what Spare was all about. Spare and the Netflix deal were huge opportunities for them to make more bank than they ever would, because I would argue their brand was never worth much. Their brand was to dish on the royals, to complain, to play victims, to do all these things. So I got to say, there was never any brand. Sure. Could they have lost some brand equity? Sure. But they already had. This was a lost cause, these royals, and they knew it. And they're clinging on to this thing as long as they can, and they're going to exploit their connection to the royals as long as they can to cash in, to pay for security, and to continue to stay relevant. Because they're kind of like Kardashians. I was saying they're like posh Kardashians is what I think these people are. Whatever is out there talking about them means they are succeeding, because they're still known. And because I don't think they care about this poll, Steph, and I'm going to end on this. They don't care about who's disliked or who's popular. They care about, have you heard of them? Do you know who Meghan Markle is? That's all she cares about. Boom. There we go. Boom, boom. Andy versus Steph.
Booyah.
The battle is on. Hey, Diego, how you doing? Hello. As I was fighting. Who won, me or Steph?
You.
Oh! Oh, I love you.
I
Thank
call
you,
for a public recount. I'm going all Donald Trump right now.
All right, we're going to ask the audience.
What are my toys doing here?
Some of your toys are here. You can take them. Go play with them. Go for it, buddy. All right, we're going to ask a poll to ask you who won. Now, again, I always had to do this with movie fights. It's about the argument. I'm going to lose just because y'all hate Meghan and Harry. But who gave the better argument? Let's see here. Who gave the better argument? Meghan, what is it? Who was Spare a success? There it is. Yes. Andy. No. Stef. Yeah? Did I do that right? You guys get to help decide the winner, and the winner will get shot by a Nerf gun. All right, there we go. We'll leave it up for a minute. Who will win? And we'll get the bragging rights of being the first winner of Andy versus Stef. You can say in the names in the chat, too. Tell the audience who you're voting for in the comments. Based off of the arguments, was Spare a failure? Was it a success? Tell us who made the better argument, and we'll see who wins in a moment. It's an uphill battle, but I think I did what do you think, Steph? I think I did a decent job given how hard the topic was.
You did a very heroic effort, However, I think I'm going to be shooting you with a Nerf gun, mate.
I see a lot of Andys in there. All right, it's leaning towards Steph, as I suspected it might. But I will take it.
I made the better argument.
I will
there you
take
go.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's no bias in this chat at all, I'm sure. Right, Diego? Yeah, you said right.
Yeah.
But there you go. Diego's got my back. High five, buddy.
Well, I would expect so too.
Yeah, of course. Well, there you go. What did you think of Andy versus Steph? My favorite was, I don't like all the yelling. I'm leaving. Okay, Karens. My God, just have some fun. We're just having some fun. We're getting passionate. We're laughing. We're smiling.
Right?
It's too loud.
It's a debate.
Geez.
What do you expect?
I don't want it to be some boring presidential.
Goodness.
Well, Meghan and Harry have this, and blah,
And we've
blah,
got to have a
blah.
leaderboard as well.
Oh yes, we will make a leaderboard. So lots more in store for the for this segment. Who's the kid? That's my kid. Who's the kid? That's Diego. Who's the kid? Just my random neighborhood kid who just pops into the studio from time to time. No, that's my son. But there you go. All right, look, I was giving a couple seconds before we wrap this bit up, and it looks like you're about to call it. I'm gonna call it. 69% say was Spare a success. No, Steph wins.
Woo! Yes! Yes! I have faith in the chat again. You guys rock. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Academy, to thank the Oscars, to thank Harry and Meghan for being absolute douches. Appreciate you all. And yes, the chat for seeing sense.
Boo. I
Appreciate
say shenanigans. Shenanigans. You all hate them so much you refuse to accept my argument. I could never win. Right, Diego? But you think I won. Aww. And Diego wins for being the cutest kid.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Yes,
job.
he does. I won the first one.
Oh, she did. She
yes.
did. All right, well, there you go. Andy versus Steph. More of those. More battles coming here. Again, I feel like I got to bring those pop culture battles back. If you ever saw me over on Screen Junkies doing movie fights, we had a lot of fun with our movies. And stay tuned, more in store. If you guys like that, tell us in the comments right now. Did you like that segment? Did you like the reporting? Do you want more of those? It's going to have some yelling. Not going to apologize for that. But tell us in the comments what you think. If you're watching on the live, we got so much more show. If you're watching on the replay, again, like I said, hit that join button. Hit the pick a tier. Support Planeteers, become a Planeteer, support Popcorn Planet, and you'll get all of the replays, especially and a special exclusive member content and more. Make sure you also subscribe to the winner today, Steph the Alter Nerd, over on YouTube. Subscribe to both channels, and thank you so much. You want to say Go Planet?
Go Planet.
Yay! Thank you, Diego. All right, that was that.